Hello and welcome to Enter the Scottyverse Interviews. Today I am joined by my good friend Kye, who is in the process of becoming a certified athletic trainer. Now, Kye was in the United States Air Force. She was deployed with me to a location we won't talk about right now, and ended up meeting the love of her life, got married, and now she is a Army wife. Kye, thank you for being on the show.
Thank you for inviting me.
I'm excited because we haven't really, we talked a lot on the deployment, but we haven't really talked a lot since then. And that's what I'm finding with this podcast is I'm actually reaching out to people that for whatever reason we get busy, and I haven't talked to these people in years. And I'm getting such meaningful conversations out of everything and seeing where everybody's lives are going, because it's been 3 or 4 years since we really talked.
Yeah, it's been a while. We've been pretty busy, and life's just been spitballing left and right at us. So.
Life will do that. So let's see. I know you fell in love in Iraq, and you got married when we got back to home station. You were still in the military when you left Moody, correct?
Yes, 100%.
Okay. So you got joint spouse to, where did you go again?
Joint base Lewis McChord in Washington.
Washington. Yuck. Are you guys still in Washington? No, you're not, because you're on Central Time. Did you enjoy Washington?
So the views are nice. There's so much to do over there. Like, if you love the outdoors, it's a perfect place to go.
Okay.
But it was just different.
Yeah, that'll happen. It's Washington. Giant shrimp. That's all I really know about. And hippies. Shrimp and hippies is all I really know about Washington.
There's a lot of hippies.
So
different. It was different.
Yeah. And we have nothing against hippies. If you're a hippie and you want to be on the show, hit me up. We'll talk about the hippie lifestyle. Okay, and so you'd already kind of started working out on it. I remember you were always fit, and you started working out a lot when we were deployed. And then we'll just jump into it. Where did the bug come from that made you think, hey, being a personal trainer might be where I want to go with this?
Okay, so it actually all started the minute after I had my daughter, Raylan. My body was not the same anymore. I had a C-section, emergency C-section. So they pretty much just open you up and just rip you open, abs and all. So it's all gone. You become like a turkey.
Well,
so,
I've never had abs, so that's not an issue for me. That's problem solved.
Well,
right. Anyway,
it's like they literally stretch you out. So with that being said, and my recovery process, before I was pregnant, I was 165. It was really nice. Like, I was at my top peak of shape. And then after that, I was 191. So that took like a definite like gut wrench, like, holy crap, like what just happened? So from there, I started, once I got the okay, obviously from the doctor saying, okay, you can work out, I started pushing myself every single day. And by the time I hit April, this was January, by the time I hit April, I was finally down to 171 pounds.
Okay.
Now, a year and a half later, I'm back to my original weight. So much better, so much stronger. So with the motivation behind all that, I was super impressed on how your body can adapt no matter what trauma it goes through. And I just want to relate to other women, other moms who think that, once they have a kid, that's it. Their body's useless. No, this is like your peak time. You're a mom.
Yeah. You can just curl a child as you walk around the house. I get it.
Yeah. You deal with a screaming child, and you deal with a husband that's pretty much a baby himself. So.
Hey, we are all babies, but I'm going to say we're not all babies, all right? I'm going to put that out there. We're not babies.
When you're
sick. The man cold is a real thing. Sorry that you're a woman and you will never have to deal with a man cold, but when we get the man cold, it's devastating to our bodies. It's worse than pregnancy. Worse than childbirth, even. Man cold is no joke.
Possibly.
No, it's not possibly. There's scientific fact. I'll put the link below. I'm not going to do that.
Okay. Obviously, read it.
Okay, so you start working out on your own, and you see your body bouncing back, and you're realizing, hey, I can do this, and you want to mainly help other women. And is it more dependent women? Is it, because I know you're in Army, there's a lot of dependent wives around there, and we all know the dependopotamus jokes are a real thing. I'm not saying it to be mean. I'm not saying it to be negative. But there is that stereotypical image of the military spouse is overweight, doesn't do a lot, and just kind of sucks off the proverbial tea. So are you finding yourself kind of, right now you're coaching because you're not certified, but you will be certified. Are you finding yourself coaching more Army people, or is it civilian, or a good mixture?
It's a good mixture. Just women who just need to boost themselves up.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful inside and out, no matter who you are. You just gotta tell that voice in your head to shut up and get up and go.
Shut up, voices in my head. I don't have one, I have multiple voices, but sometimes we have block parties and it gets wild in here. Okay. So you're getting these women in, and just give me your kind of, you don't have to give names or very specifics, that way we don't hurt anybody's feelings. Like, what is the stereotypical first person that you start coaching? How do they, because I've never had a personal trainer. I don't even know I'm glad that these people are motivated to go do it, but I don't understand like how they come to you, their mindset. I don't understand any of that.
So, for a good example, I had a client who came to me after she just had a boy, literally got pregnant 4 months after she just had twins.
Oof.
So her body didn't have that time to recover.
Yeah.
She didn't think she can do it. She didn't understand how like cardio and then weightlifting, both of them can do the same effect. So I started coaching her, helping her out, showing like working out with her, making her feel more comfortable in the gym. And over time, she started feeling really comfortable in her skin. She said that the relationship between her and her husband was blossoming. She felt comfortable just walking around the house. And she felt comfortable walking into the gym by herself when I wasn't there.
So you're saying comfortable walking into the gym. That's what I'm kind of focused. Is it because she just didn't know what she was doing? Was it a negative self-image? Or I know gyms are usually male dominated. So is it really that intimidated for a woman to walk into a gym?
Yes, especially if you don't know what you're doing. You
Mm-hmm.
see a bunch of machines, you see a bunch of free weights, you're seeing all these people do different kinds of forms and different kinds of workouts, and you're just completely lost. It's overwhelming. It's almost as similar as to going into college the first time or going to your first deployment. It's overwhelming. You don't know what to expect.
Well, I've been working out now for about a decade, and I still don't know what I'm doing. So I just find something heavy, pick it up, put it down. Problem solved. Maybe that's why I'm not in peak shape, or maybe it's because I'm stupid and keep injuring myself. Who knows?
That makes
I do have all the injuries. So okay, so I'm glad these women are becoming comfortable. How long, like, does a client like to stay with you for a long time? How, I don't understand. How do you and a client grow together?
So there's short-term goals and then there's long-term goals. We'll literally sit there and go through short-term and we'll plan out how many months it will take. And it depends on the client. If they feel comfortable enough that they don't need me anymore, it's fine. They can go out, go blossom out, go you know?
Go on, be free.
But if you're trying to go for, let's say you're going to compete in Lollapalooza, which is like CrossFit Games, or you want to do like a marathon or triathlon, like that's long term. You're not going to do that in a matter of like 2 months. You're going to have to build up.
Sorry.
So with that being said, normally clients would stay with me. The one that I had, she stayed with me for 2 years. Okay. But then COVID happened and all the gyms closed, so that all took a toll on all of our finances, which I completely understand.
Mm-hmm.
I still help her out here and there, but I can't do too much because, I need to get paid as much as somebody else needs to get paid.
Exactly. Yeah, you got to be able to go. And with all the gyms being shut down, I just assume are they opening back up where you are right now, or is it still pretty?
So we opened up in the end of April, which was nice. We were pretty much the test dummies.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But now that it's starting to get a little weird. Now we're gonna have to wear masks in the gym when we didn't have to over here.
Yeah.
Eventually, we're probably gonna end up being shut down again by California at the moment. So
You can just go get one of those oxygen restriction masks. I mean, you're still getting everything in, but it's a mask, and you're just making your body work. Oh no, it's a mask. And if the person's stupid, they'll be like, all right, cool, go for it.
as long as your face is covered, you're fine.
Yeah. No, we're lucky right now. The gym's here. You have to wear a mask when you walk in, but as soon as you start lifting, you can take the mask off. So I don't understand that process.
Either way, wearing the mask and then working out, it's going to restrict your breathing.
Yes.
And people end up passing out left and right, and it just becomes a hazard because you have weights around you.
Right. I'm pretty sure there's a lot of breathing going on in squats, bench press, curls, everything. I mean, sometimes I forget to breathe, and that's just a lot of fun. I get really high off my own. But anyways, and it's hard to breathe when you're just singing so much. People always look at me funny because I'll just be in there singing and dancing my face off. They're like, what is this?
I do the same thing. I do the same thing.
So they can just get over it. It's my gym time. All right. So you're currently a coach on your way to being a personal trainer. What's kind of the difference between the two? Because I'm completely naive on all of this.
So, personal trainer will break it down Barney style for you and give you a set training plan.
Okay.
This is what you do for 2 weeks, and then after that, we'll move on to this. Everything's breaking down for you. A coach is more of a motivator. Just think of a baseball coach. What are they there for?
So you're a spotter. You're just a spotter. Yeah. Okay.
Pretty much. And on top of the coaching, with the other certs that I'm working on, I'll be going for nutrition and all that jazz. So I can set up a nutrition plan and all the fun stuff between that,
So for those of you who are wondering what she giggled at, my camera is not the best, so it just keeps getting zoomy and blurry. And I was waving at my own camera trying to make it be in focus. It's funny that you start talking about nutrition because I wrote down food. I understand nutrition is important. I've never been the one to buy into the theory of, eating. I eat healthy, but I definitely don't eat super healthy. I will stop and grab a Big Mac every 3 or 4 weeks. I enjoy a beer. So I don't watch my carb intake. I don't do that type of stuff. I understand nutrition is important. The people that are coming to you, are you seeing a lot of people having issues with their own nutrition? Are they having trouble adjusting to it? Stuff like that.
Yes. So, for example, I know somebody who is training to compete.
Okay. Yeah, and that's a very strict diet, competing, right? You got to really watch macros, whatever the heck that is. Eat celery. Yeah.
And water intake. It's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot. So she's wondering why she's not gaining the muscle. Well, fun fact, in case somebody doesn't know, it's normally 20% of working out, and then you have the 70%, which is all nutrition.
See, I'm not doing that. I'm going to do 70% working out, 10% nutrition, 10% alcohol intake. That's my go-to.
If that's what you want to do, float your boat the way you want to float it.
Hey, I'm one of the fastest fat guys you'll ever see. All right, I can run, and I think it's because I know carb loading is not a thing anymore because they figured out carb loading doesn't actually help you run. But I'm going to stand by the fact that I usually have 2 or 3 Coors Lights before the race starts. So I got the carbs, and I just don't care. And I usually have a 6-pack waiting at the end. So I'm just, I'm trying to get to the beer before my buzz wears off.
Yeah. I can sometimes relate to that.
Yeah, right. As I sit here pouring another beer, so. Okay, so yeah, you have people like, I know I've had a few friends that have competed, and I know that type of dieting is just so beyond what the normal person is willing to achieve or even can achieve. And
like my husband would say, like he does the whole bulking thing, loves the whole competing, but he says you have to turn off your tastefulness and wanting to eat, and you're just gonna have to eat and just go numb. That's pretty much what it is.
Yeah, it's the idea of eat big, get big. I've heard this one. Back in, let's see, probably 2011, I think, I was like 145 pounds. But I was running a mile in sub 5 minutes because I devoted all my time and energy to just straight cardio and running. And then I joined a team, and they're like, nah, dude, you need to eat a sandwich. And I had to learn to turn my brain off and just shovel food in there. And I thought, I'd get done with a 10-mile run, and I'd cook up a pound of bacon and just eat that. I was like, cool. But I was burning that much energy. So I had to cut back my running, and I was eating like everything. It was ridiculous how much food I was putting in me. And I bulked up to about 180. Now I kind of sit around 190-ish. But I've had for the longest time, me, I keep getting injured over and over and over again. So I've had a problem reprogramming my brain to not just shovel food in. So if I get a plate of food, that whole plate is going in my gullet. I'm not doing leftovers. That food's here now, gonna eat it now. And that's, like I said, with all my injuries, you can see my muscle mass. I'm starting to I get up in the morning and I kind of feel my handles. And I'm like, oh man, daddy needs to go for a run. So.
Yeah, I've seen people have that issue where there's food in front of them and they have to finish the whole plate.
Yeah.
Or I've seen
stress
eating. Stress eating huge.
I know Tiffany stress eats, and she's going to kill me for saying that. But yeah, I know. It is, food is a comforting thing that brings us together. It gives you the endorphins, makes you feel good. And that's why I do understand that nutrition is 70% of it. And it's not always what you eat, but it's being able to control yourself.
Yes.
And man, do we have an issue with that. And
so.
We have such an issue with that in this country.
Well, like, for example, like you getting a Big Mac. Us growing up, a small was a small,
Yeah.
Now a small
32 ounces. Yeah.
Yeah, and then a medium is like a large, and a large is an extra large. So
yeah,
the proportions are out of control.
And I grew up in the supersize me era, so that was. Yeah. You want to supersize? Hell yeah! It's 2 a.m. Supersize me.
Yeah, which is also a movie, Supersize Me.
Yeah, the guy did the McDonald's challenge for 30 days. And every time they said, would you like to supersize that? He had to say yes. And he had to eat everything on the menu at least once.
He got to the point where he was addicted. Isn't that scary?
Yeah, he was addicted. He had withdrawals at the end. And he was sick as a dog. He was waking up with night sweats and stuff. And it's just, God, it's wild that our bodies do that to us when we're putting just filth into it.
Like, our bodies are just amazing. Like, we're just amazing creatures. The amount of things that we can do, and
you carry a human inside of you. That's incredible.
I'm technically an alien, okay? I say that I'm technically an alien. Everybody enjoyed like the babies kicking and moving, and I was in my stomach like, this is freaking me out.
My wife is the same way. She hates the act of being pregnant, but she loves the end result. She is the most miserable person. Well, she's like, I don't like this. I don't want to do this. Why do we do this? And as soon as the baby's out, she's like, let's have another. It's like, nope, I'll go buy a child. That's not doing that again.
Let's buy 5.
I only bought 3. So anyways.
That's okay.
Yeah. But yeah, so okay. So you're coaching right now. How much did COVID set you back with getting to being an actual personal trainer?
So with COVID, like I was finally getting my foot in the door, and I was getting ready to launch my website, and I was getting ready to actually try to work at a gym that was opening up. With COVID taking a huge hit in the middle of March, can't set up my website because nobody's going to want to come out. And 2, the gyms were going to be closed, so I couldn't initiate the training at that one gym. So it put a huge setback and definitely hit hard in the bank account because I couldn't train anybody. Everybody was so scared. Yeah. Everybody still is scared. Like nobody knows anything. But now that I moved to being a coach virtually, it is so much better because I can train you through a screen. If you have questions, feel free to email me or text me or quick FaceTime me. Like we don't have to worry about that face-to-face contact. And then Zooming while working out, I could critique your form and let you know what you're doing wrong. What you're doing
I have perfect form.
And you're drinking it right.
So, all right. So you're talking about doing virtual training. So yeah, how is that going? Are people working out at their houses and you're having to figure out just like body weight stuff for them to do? How hard is that to figure out?
So it's not that hard because of what me and you went through at the Air Force.
Yeah.
All those ideas and some, and then continuously like learning more and more every day. And it's fun because you could do a giant group meeting and everybody's at their own house. You're in your comfort of your home, but you have your motivation right in front of you.
Okay. Yeah. Go ahead.
You're not the only one. You have all of your friends working out with you.
Okay, so you're doing like a giant video chat workout. Mm-hmm. Okay, because me, like working out at home, if I'm at my house, I am not working out. I'll do like a 3-minute plank every morning, but that's all the workout you're getting out of me at my house. And Tiffany's had the same issue. Like we have to go to a gym, otherwise it's just not going to happen. I have a small amount of free weights and I could do it at the house, but I'm like, man, no. So is it hard to keep people motivated at the house to be doing stuff, or do they seem to be kind of latching onto it and just adapting to the new COVID life?
It depends on the personality. You have sedentary lifestyles, so people just love to sit in front of the TV 5 hours a day, or you have somebody who constantly wants to be active. But when you're around people who are inspiring and you want to get to that goal, you just set that in mind. I always tell my clients, have a vision board. Put whatever you need that you want, like whatever you want in your life, just put it on that board and put it where you see it every single day.
So you're taking notes from The Office now for vision boards.
Sure. I've never watched The Office. Everybody's going to get super mad at me for saying that. I've never watched The Office. But I learned this from a friend many years ago.
All right, pause everything. This is going, yeah, are you just not interested? Are you just trying to be a holdout? What's going on here?
I just never really found an interest in it.
Skip season 1.
I've tried watching season 1 and it was just dry.
Never ever watch season 1 of The Office. Go straight to season 2. You're welcome. I was the same way for years. I would not watch The Office, and it's because season 1's so dry and terrible. I started watching season 2. I have trained myself. I'm like a parrot now. I've watched The Office God knows how many times in the past year. I turn the TV on. I put The Office on. Within 7 minutes, I am sound asleep no matter where I am or what I'm doing. If I'm running a marathon, full sprint, and somebody puts The Office on, I am passing out in the middle of the race because I've trained myself to fall asleep to that. It's amazing what the human body can do. So I need to get a better light. All right. Anyways. Man, so yeah, I think I speak for everybody in the world. Just start on season 2. Don't look back. Once Michael leaves The Office, you can stop watching it and just start again at season 2. Problem solved.
Okay. I'll be sure to add it to my to-do list.
You should. You should go sit in front of the TV for 5 hours and be an introvert or whatever that fancy word was you used.
Hereditary. Introvert.
Hereditary. Got it. You can't use these fancy personal trainer words at me. I'll butcher them. Well,
at least I'm slightly educating you.
Yeah, sedimentary lifestyle. Gotcha.
Yeah. There you
go. Okay, so you got the sedimentary people who just want to sit and binge, and then what are the other type of people?
The active type. So does your wife at all, when you're home and you're like, oh, let's relax, and she just gets up from the couch and starts like cleaning or doing the laundry when there's like very little laundry, or just doing a whole bunch of ordering?
I have children for that.
Oh, well, my child's like 19 months. She doesn't know.
Your child should be doing the dishes by now.
I'll get to it.
Yeah. No, we have a good workflow period at the house. We don't, and we understand that, getting addicted to television is a bad thing. So when we're at home, the TV doesn't even come on until the kids are in bed, and then we'll give ourselves about an hour of television time, maybe a little more, maybe a little less. And then we give ourselves an hour of just nothing else before we go and lay down and go to sleep. Like, we still don't have a TV in the bedroom. We just won't do that. It's not the bedroom, general, like Patton said, a bed's only good for 2 things. So sleeping and eating. But
at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. I've fallen asleep with suckers in my mouth so many times. It's just, God, I wake up choking. Tiffany's like, God, not again. She reaches over, pulls it out, throws it over. No, we keep ourselves busy enough just because we're naturally active people, but I'm not gonna take the time to do what I consider physical fitness while I'm at the house. I'm busy occupying my time with other things. I have kids to play with. I have stuff that needs to be worked on, things I want to read. So I'm working out the mental brain. The mental brain. Good word. Yeah, but if you told me to, here's your house, you have to work out here, I could be a millionaire with a phenomenal gym in my house. That gym would never get touched. Just not going to happen.
Yeah, I was there, but with quarantine and the goals that I want to reach, I had to push myself past that mindset and saying, well, you worked this hard for this far. Why are you going to lose everything because something is trying to set you back?
And that's good. And not a lot of people can have that mindset. I'm getting older. I'm at the age now where things hurt and I get injured so much doing the stupidest things. Like I hurt myself terribly riding a bicycle, and they still don't. That was April of 2019. They still don't know what's wrong with me. I've had exploratory surgery. I've seen specialists. I've had dyes. I've had MRIs, and they're all like, dude, we don't know what's wrong with you. But so I have all these doctors saying, we have no idea what's wrong with you. Are you sure it's not in your head? Meanwhile, I can't ride a bike 1 mile. I was doing like 100 miles a day, no problem. I can't ride a bike a mile without being in agony. I can't run a mile faster than 8 minutes without being in agony. But these doctors are like, oh, well, there's nothing really wrong with you. So I'm like, So it's easy for us to, I'm making excuses at this point. Mm-hmm. I can go out and run. I could go run a mile at a 9-minute pace, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I'm so competitive with myself that I know in my prime, almost a decade ago, I was doing a mile in 4 minutes and 37 seconds. So doing it in 9 minutes, to me, I'm like, nope, why even try? See what I'm saying? I'm one of those mental people.
Yeah. No, I can understand a lot of, just think about like all the athletes that have the same mindset. You tore an ACL.
Yeah.
At that point, you're just like, well, I can't get back to where I was.
So why try? Yeah.
So why try? And then
Thank
you're
God
watching,
they're athletes and get paid millions of dollars.
yeah, you're getting frustrated. You're looking at your favorite football player because he's not going hard enough as he used to because he's scared he's going to do it again.
Mm-hmm.
But injuries can be prevented 100%. Their training, there's something wrong in the training. There's something wrong in the form. It all starts there. Just whole like form. People get super upset when you have to go decrease your weight to practice your form. Like, but I look like a wimp. Well, you rather make sure that you're not going to hurt yourself as opposed to down the road, you tore your ACL or you twisted your ankle.
Oh yeah,
then
you're
you're
not.
like, what did I do?
And
How did this happen?
I'm totally with you on that. Like, you know, I'm much rather do form over just weight. I think, you know, 5-6 years ago, I would go in and I wanted to, like, I'm like 300 pounds on the bench. I have to get there. I don't care what it's going to do to my body to get there. I'm going to put up heavy weight and just get there. Now, I don't go over 100 pounds on a bench press. I don't care. I'm up there with a 25 on each side, but I'm doing 10 sets at 10. And I did that 3 days ago, and my chest is just killing me right now.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and guys look at me, and they're like, huh. I'm like, cool, bro. Rep that with me. Let's see what happens, you know? And they don't want to do that because after about the third set, they're like, because I'd only do 30-second breaks. I'll do my 10 sets, count to 30, 10 sets, 30, and boom. And they're like, man, they realize that I'm actually destroying myself without hurting myself. And it's phenomenal.
Yeah, exactly. Because if like bench press, if you're doing super heavy weight and your form is super terrible, your shoulder is going to hurt so bad. You won't know it at the time because adrenaline's kicking in, but give it like an hour and you're going to sit there like, my shoulder hurts so bad right now.
and I've broken my shoulder twice, so it actually, one shoulder sits lower than the other, so I really have to watch that. But we're getting way off topic, I feel. You know, we're still talking about health and fitness and not The Office, which I'm super fussy about at this point. All right. So where do you see you as a physical trainer going? Like, is there an end game for you, or are you just kind of riding the train right now?
So, like a good friend of mine always told me that stuck around is, I'm always a student. I'm always going to be learning. I'm always going to want to learn more and more. And I'm going to expand. So I wouldn't say there's much of an end game. This is just the beginning.
So with COVID happening and gyms kind of, are you thinking more of like going to the online stuff and growing that, or are you just waiting for gyms to open so you can jump back in and be more hands-on again?
So with COVID and how it's being unpredictable, I'm going to base everything online because we're going to be moving here soon. So it'll be kind of a little, I wouldn't say pointless, but for me to go somewhere to say, all right, I got to go and leave all the clientele.
Oh no, it froze. Oh no, is it my internet that just crapped out? So I'm going to stop talking for a second so I can try to figure out what's going on here. I have internet. I see Kye. She's frozen. Kye! Oh no. I lost everything. We were doing so good.
Somewhere else.
And I'm back.
Yay!
That's what happens when you live in the middle of nowhere, Missouri. You got to roll with it. My internet's free, so be it. I'm getting a good deal. Okay, so yeah. I heard, I got to the point where you're saying, what's, yes and no, what's the point of going into a place and then having to move?
Yes.
And I can understand that totally because we move so much. Hopefully you guys get a few years at your next station. You can start building a clientele there.
He's finishing up his term. That's why we're moving. We're done.
You're done.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yes.
Okay. Does he have a way ahead? I mean, we don't have to get into it. I mean, does he have a way ahead? Yes, no, maybe. You don't know. He's a child?
He's got a couple of ideas. But it all depends on where he can where he can be accepted, I guess you could say.
Okay.
But he's got 6 years of service. He's got a ton of experience, so I don't think nobody's not going to hire him.
Except for the fact that it's COVID season.
True, but by the time it should happen, we should be okay.
Good. Well, I wish you guys the best with that. So I was thinking, I mean, doing, physical training, personal trainer, online stuff, do you have any aspirations of having your own type of gym? And if so, what would that look like?
Ooh, that's a very good question. So I would probably push for more of like a rock climbing gym because it's more versatile.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe have like an indoor outdoor depending on where I would be. So on nice days everybody's outside, and then when it's cold everybody's inside, because gyms are awesome to be inside, but I actually enjoyed working out outside when everything was quarantined. Fresh air, the sun, like it was just great. I loved being out there.
You get a good sweat going. Yeah.
Yeah. You get a tan. All in one.
I don't tan very much, so.
So it would probably be a rock climbing gym, but it would have, the actual free weights and stuff, and then a section for yoga because stretching is super important.
Gotcha. Okay, so it's, in my mind, I see like this weird, it's not necessarily CrossFit, but it's like this weird combination. I think of rock climbing because I think of rock climbing and the endurance and the movements you do, and then I think of weightlifting. It's like this weird combination of CrossFit in my mind.
Yeah, but it would be like a hybrid.
Yeah, hybrid. Oh, yeah, I get you. That's a combination. Hybrid's a better, more articulate word than I used. I'm sorry. I did a lot of rock climbing in my early 20s, and I remember I was getting really good, and then one day I was like, you know what, I'm going to do the inverted and go across the roof. And man, I got up there, and we have the safety ropes and everything on it. Second I got to that inverted position, I was like, there's no way in hell I'm ready for this. And I was like, on the way. He's like, yep. I'm like, all right, I just let go. And he just lowered me down. I was like, nope, not ready for that. Rock climbing is insane, the amount of strength it takes.
Yes, I agree. So much grip strength.
Yeah.
And on top of that, it challenges like your mindset, and it's a puzzle. So it trains your brain, trains your body.
Exactly. And it's, oh man, I actually, just before I moved up here, I just got rid of my rock climbing shoes because they sat in the closet the whole time we were at Moody. And I was like, you know what? 5 years, I haven't touched them. Time for them to go. And now we're talking about it. I'm like, man, why did I get rid of those shoes? So.
I would have taken you to the indoor rock climbing place in Atlanta when we went all the time when we were at Moody. I had no idea.
Yeah, I love boulder. I did a lot more bouldering than I did rock climbing. I like going up, 10, 12 feet and just sideways as far as I could get. So, but yeah, I get you. And it was fun. Like, the only place I was able to go to at the time, they would never change the grips. So it got to a point where, like, a new guy would show up and it would take him 5 minutes to do a route, and I was doing it in like 30 seconds because it was all just muscle memory. I was like a monkey just flying across that thing. But I remember how much I enjoyed it, and just learning how to solve that puzzle was phenomenal. I just wish that place would have changed the puzzle up every now and then.
The good thing about the one in Atlanta, though, they changed it like every week.
That's awesome.
And they had one where you had to be blindfolded.
I would love that. Oh, man. Anytime I can get a blindfold on my eyes, I'm going to do it and just hope for the best, you know? Yeah. These dudes show up in a van. It's all blacked out. They throw me a blindfold. I'm getting in the van. I don't care. You guys don't have to abduct me. Give me the blindfold and see what happens. So, I've been to ECAC. I got slapped. I
think we all did.
I think I set the class record for getting slapped the most times. Were you in my course or not? I don't think you were.
No, I went with Kate and Torres, and that was interesting.
Okay. I played dumb. Like, I didn't wait till I was in the room to play dumb. From the second they said, welcome to class, I was, for those of you who are only listening, I'm about to make a face. This was my face the whole time. And the dude's like beating the hell out of me, and I'm just holding that face. He's like, go touch the wall. So I walk really slow, and I take my fingers. I'm like, and I walk back over, and I would like lumber. I would sway every time I walked. And he's just like beating the hell out of me. And he's like, do wall sits. So I'm just sitting there doing wall sits with the face. He's like, you look like a zombie. Put your arms up, zombies. Just, you care? I was like, all right, dude, you're going to slap me around a bit? No big deal.
I was told that after all of that, they were really concerned about you.
Yeah. I think like the third day they had to take Rod aside. So Rod was our, the guy in charge of me, for those of you who don't know. Rod was in charge of me, and the teachers actually pulled him to the side and were like, hey, is this guy okay? And Rod at that point had to break down. He's like, yeah, he's just fucking with you guys. He's fine. Because they're beating the hell out of me, and I'm just standing there like an idiot. They'd hit me so hard, my hair would flap up and like fall down in my face. And they're torturing a woman to my left, right? Quote unquote torturing her. So she's on my left, and the guy told me he was a major, and he's on my right. And at the very beginning, he's like, I'm a major. You look at me when I'm talking to you. So I'm just looking at him. And he's like yelling, and they're torturing, and I'm ignoring the fact that this poor lieutenant is getting tortured to my left. I don't even acknowledge her. And he's like, look at her. So I'm just very slowly right back to him. I gave her half a second look. And like, they take her and they put her on the wall, right? And she's doing the little fingers on a wall thing. And she is miserable. So they have me walk around and stand next to her. And like, I'm looking at her, I go, hey. She's like, hi. I'm like, you want to get a drink? And they hit me again and they pull me back to the side. I didn't care. Torture the woman, not my problem. That's her problem.
Through their heads while they saw the whole thing. Like, they kept their composure pretty well. I would have lost it if I saw your face.
Yeah. And they did the whole thing where they put the bag around your neck and they yank you in really close. So I had the little short guy with the long ponytail.
Oh, yeah.
So when he yanked me in close, I left my arms limp. So my arms just start like swinging and bopping into him. And he's like screaming at me while my arms are just like bopping his hips. I was like, all right, man, this is a lot of fun. Thanks. But now that we went on that tangent. Okay, so the future is open because you're still learning. You still want to see where everything goes. And you're going to grow and learn every day, which is a good way to look at it. If you ever have a gym, it'll be some weird hybrid of CrossFit and Meathead where you go rock climbing at the end, no matter what. Even if you hate rock climbing, you're rock climbing.
Yes.
Welcome to Kye's gym. Get on the wall, sucker. Okay.
Up, down.
Awesome. Well, we're going to go ahead and start wrapping it up. If you guys are still listening at this point, thank you. This is kind of a weird, wild one. We went all over the place. I think this is
probably because it's been forever since we've talked. So
exactly, and I was just getting ready to say this was more of like a reminiscing, just I miss you as a friend episode than it was actually an interview. Because I do, I miss you, and like I've said at the very beginning, just this has gotten me to reach out, and I'm still having daily conversations with people that I haven't talked to in over a decade. But doing this has brought us back together, and I've learned so much about my people that they're my friends, but what do I really know about you guys? I would have never really known that you had that C-section, the emergency C-section. I would have never known you got to 190. I would have never known that sparked this love for you to be able to go and help other people. And at the end of the day, that's what this podcast is about. I've been blessed to know so many amazing people, and you're one of them. We have such great stories, especially in the military, and the camaraderie that we get, the hobbies that we start, our drive and motivation for what the most part gives us just phenomenal stories. And they're feel good stories at the end of the day. You went up to 190, which is, I'm not sounding mean, but that's big.
Yeah.
And you were able to pull yourself back from that and get back into a shape, a body type, a physique that you enjoy, and being healthy about it this whole time is incredible. So I applaud you for that. I'm going to go ahead and let you get a couple closing words. If you have a website that you want to plug, I know you said it hasn't launched yet.
So I do have a website now.
Okay.
If anything, I can always send you the link so people can actually.
And I'll put the link in the description.
But if you guys have any questions or just need somebody to talk to about fitness or just need to let things out, that's what I'm here for. I'm not just here to train. If you got something on your mind, let it go. It's toxic to hold it in anyway. If you got goals, go for them. Don't let anything hold you back, whether gyms are open or closed. It's all a mindset, and the brain is a very powerful thing.
Awesome. I got goosebumps. I'm not joking. I just got goosebumps. So phenomenal. All right. I need them to go away before I can continue. I'm sorry. Like, it's arms and legs goosebumps. I love it. That was very well said. Everybody, this was Enter the Scottyverse interviews with my good friend Kye. Check her out. The link will be in the description. Kye, once again, just thank you so much for coming on the show. Thank you for taking an hour out of your day to talk with me. Thank you for dealing with the technical difficulties and just reminiscing. It was a lot of fun, and it was good for my soul.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. We have to do it again.
Definitely. All right. Goodbye, everybody. Kye, you want the last words?
See you later, friend.